Having mentioned that I do a bit of armory in the film industry on occasion, Failed Magic asked back on our origin video if we knew anything about sort of more bushy, primitive types of munitions and implementation. So let's reach way back to a bit of a legendary fable on this one. We're a little ways off from our Halloween special, and not to get all spooktastic general here, but 1 Samuel 17 is probably the most popular iteration of the tool.
One day, David came to the battlefield to bring food for his brothers. He saw the giant Goliath mocking the Israelite soldiers, so asked, "Who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God?"
In no way does BC Bowcraft endorse any religious culture or creed, secondhand spiritual advisory guidebooks, globalist banking, Lucky Elephant popcorn, nor either side of the very complicated Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Because, well, in general, war is just bad.
And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe!
One of the earliest projectile weapons, boasts a history stretching back to prehistoric times. Its simplicity in construction and use made it a widespread weapon for hunting and warfare across numerous cultures.
Let's get this thing started. What you're going to need: some scrap leather, some paracord, bank line, a handful of burner phones, kidding, a detail knife, and a bunch of rocks. So if you don't have any scrap leather kicking around, you can also use a belt or maybe an old wallet. Take and cut out a bit of a square shape. I say square, I meant a bit of a bell shape. This is going to be your rock pouch. Set that aside for now. You'll want to take and deploy your paracord, double it over until you've got about an armpit length and a little extra. Cut that off about there. Always important to burn your ends closed. Now you're going to want to take your little bell pouch, open it up. You've got 2 holes in these little arms on here. Take your paracord, run it through the hole. Not once, but come around again twice. And leave about an inch exposed. Shore that up without crushing your arm. Do the same to the other side. Now we're not going to tie these off here. You can, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run it behind so it kind of shores everything up. Now if you're not tying them off, you're going to want to wrap this up, which is why we've got our bank line. It's a little sticky, so it might be hard to come out, of course. And you're going to want a good, like, 10 to 15 inches. Now, we could do a straight lashing on this, but instead, because this thing's going to be whipped around at some pretty high velocities, we're actually just going to do a granny knot and tie this off just below the paracord where it enters the pouch. And we're just going to take and wrap that all really tightly up the paracord. Now that's done, go ahead and sever the adjoining paracord ends. One's going to be your release, the other one's going to be your hold. One of the reasons we used bank line is because this stuff is tarred. So you can go ahead and heat it afterwards and it kind of solidifies everything up. You got to be careful not to do it too much or you'll get a stray strand popping out, which you'll then have to re-wrap around and then fuse back to the bundle. Nothing a bit of pine tar pitch can't handle, though. Check the video linked up in the corner for more information about this stuff. Now that that's done, take your 2 ends and let's seal those up. You're going to take your one end and make a loop just big enough to fit your middle finger knuckle into. On the other end, measure it out so that it's even. Take your pinch point, put a knot right there. That's what you're going to hold on to and release to let your ammunition fly. All right, let's go slang some rocks.
Making my way through the hood, sipping this yak. Niggas about to get blown with the Mac.
Well, the wind wasn't exactly anticipated, so we'll have to see how this mic does holding up to it. Slip the loop onto your middle knuckle of your middle finger from your throwing hand. You're going to want to make sure that the pouch is even at the apex of its extension. In terms of ammunition, you're going to want it to be as round, golf ball sized, and egg shaped as possible for your best result. So when you drop it into the pouch, it should fit as evenly as possible without either side tearing up, as this is your launch pad and you want that to be accurate. Now that you're all set up, you're going to want to bring your pouch down to just above the ground, raise it up over your head, one swing, and you release, sending the rock cascading towards your target. We're not exactly Rufus Hussey, but I'm not sure you could actually get that accurate with a sling. Probably could have picked a less messy target.
A few moments later.
People don't realize how much we go through just to do drive-bys when we're filming alone. Oh, great. Now I got to get him back on there. Up, up. There we go. Now, I find the best way to carry these things without them getting all tangled in your pocket is just to slap the leather side. I usually put it down on my wrist. Run your paracord around it a couple times, not too tight so you're not cutting off circulation. Run the other side the other way around it until you get the loop up. Once you get the loop up, take your knotted release end, pass it through, bring it back around, and just tuck it under. Should hold fairly well. And you can even take your leather pouch and fold that over. And there you've got a bit of a concealed carry, as it just looks like a paracord bracelet. All right, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit notify, and we'll see you guys again soon. Gotta figure something better to do as an outro than the hand slap. It's getting old. No doubt.
They don't like us. They don't like us. They ain't gotta like us.